Today, we are going to be talking about the type of credit cards I currently possess and what type of credit cards may actually be helpful for those just starting off and building their credit and those looking to scale their credit through the moon. First, I want to start off by talking about my Capital One secured credit card. I got this card when I first started trying to get into my credit card building journey. I tried to get the Discovered It secured credit card, but was actually denied for that one, as that card is becoming more and more competitive as it is becoming the clear number one beginner card. When I first got my Capital One secured credit card, I only started with a $300 credit limit. I figured that was something that was small enough to be able to pay off without ever thinking about it. It was never too big of a lump sum where if I got paid on a Friday, I couldn't ever put money to bills and not have money left over. I couldn't ever think about not just being able to come up with $300. So for me, as far as being able to pick my credit limit, starting out as a 19-year-old man, that was perfect for me. $300 was money. It was a good number. I was able to, just pay off buying shoes. That's the number one thing I use my credit card for. I went and I would buy a pair of $200 shoes. I would flip the shoes for, let's say, $350, $400. I would take the principal. So I would take the $200 that I used to buy the shoe, pay off the credit card immediately. Or if I had it in the bank, I would pay that off. I would pay it off immediately. And then I would sell the shoes and you keep the money. But regardless, using this as a way to invest and buy things for a business, you'll see that this is the number one, number two, number three way that people use their credit card every day. So what was the main drawback about this card? Honestly, it was the fact that there were no points or a cashback system on anything. This is very common with secured credit cards, or was common, I should say, and this is definitely becoming less and less common, as like I said previously. With the Discover It secured credit card becoming the clear number one, more companies are starting to match their point system and their starting system to what that card is. So the Discover It secured credit card is going to offer you 2% cash back, while the Capital One card only offers the bank. So they only offer you status on being able to report to the credit bureaus, so they can go ahead and see that you have been making on-time payments, that your credit limit has been increasing, so your credit score can go up. Now, it sounds good in the moment, but not being able to get any points or any cash back when you know that there's a secured card out there that will, does get kind of frustrating after a little bit. Another really big drawback to this card was that most secured cards will offer you a refund on your security deposit. So how a secured card works is you will go ahead and you'll put down a minimum requirement or up to how much you would like to have your credit limit for. This will go ahead and create collateral between you and the credit company. So if you were to be unable to pay your credit card, if you were unable to just be in good standing at all, they'll be able to say, okay, this relationship is done, we'll take this money, you don't gotta pay us nothing, and call it a day. Most companies, after they realize that you're actively trying to build your credit, will give you back this refund or give you back this money. However, Capital One does not. The only way to get your money back is to actually close the card, which is very harmful to your credit score. And despite it being rough on your credit score, that is something I've had to go ahead and do with this Capital One secured card. Just over time, since I've had it, it just hasn't given me anything back. And as far as Capital One just constantly getting hacked, Capital One constantly not really being attentive or secure enough for anyone to want to choose that as their first or primary bank, is a big reason why I just had to go ahead and cut my losses and tell myself that I need to deal with better companies out there and better bureaus. Now I have been able to work myself up to where I was able to get a new main credit card. This main credit card right now is going to be the Chase Freedom Unlimited. I just recently got this card, so I'm definitely just getting familiar with the card and the bank. It was very important for me to kind of get in now so I could build a reputation and a relationship with Chase so I can go ahead and get their other cards, especially their Business Ink. I'm very interested in getting into those. And this is just something I'm very excited about. I got this card to actually get something with benefits, and I'm excited to do that. This card offers 5% back on travel, 3% cash back at drugstores like CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and 1.5% cash back everywhere else. So, man, it's just crazy, like, to just look in my app and just see that I have money coming back or I have reward points. It doesn't even have to be anything crazy, but just knowing that what you spend naturally is actually just earning you something without you even thinking about it is great. These percentages aren't even anything crazy, but it's very extravagant coming from a card that doesn't have any benefits at all, like the Capital One secured credit card. This makes me feel like I'm actually in the credit game. The second credit card that I have in my rotation is going to be the Pedal One card. I saw this card in Graham Stephan's list on cards to get, and I was extremely intrigued by this card. This card, it gets issued by not looking at your credit history, but looking at your bank history. So I assume that if you have money in your account, you should be approved for this credit limit anywhere from $500 to $5,000. It is just all dependent on exactly how much money you have in that account. It's kind of crazy too, because once you actually get this card in, you think you have this credit limit and everything, and then they actually tell you that you can download the app, connect your bank account to this card, and just by simply connecting your bank account to the card, you get a credit limit increase. It's kind of crazy. My credit increase went up by $300 just by connecting my bank to the card. It's ridiculous. But this card was going to give you 2 to 10% cash back, and that is exactly the thing I needed and the thing I wanted with my next credit card. Now, the number one thing you need to remember when just starting off with credit cards is to get cards with no annual fees on them. This will give you time to learn the game while paying off these cards and learn the pay structure while paying off these cards. A lot of us get caught up in, what's the interest rate? What's the interest rate? And we kind of always look at what is going to give us the best interest rate. But honestly, if you're paying your cards off every single month like you shouldn't be worrying about that interest rate. If you spend $600, it should be that you pay off $600, and that's it. That's how you avoid that interest rate, that 23%, that 21%, especially when you're just getting in.